What's up, guys? Today we are on the Lyra server. This is the brand new EU server that came out recently. And put simply, we are the rank 1 warrior on the server. Not the rank 1 player. We were at the beginning, but then I started focusing on my Legion and getting my Legion mates up, so kind of slacked off a little bit. And hopefully, everyone's going to be getting stronger soon. So far, I've been having a lot of fun. There's a lot of veterans inside this game that basically tell you, hey, yeah, I've been playing the game for 15 years, 10 years, and they said this server is a breath of fresh air. You have some that they only came over here to utilize the new server resources, but other than that, everything is pretty solid. There's a decent amount of competition. I would say it's healthy competition. From all the horror stories that I've been hearing on other servers, this one is actually not that bad at all. You don't have people blasting one another inside broadcasts. You don't have people just openly harassing others. It's it's been pretty chill. I mean, everyone's just trying to come here, have fun, do whatever they got to do, and just grow their character and try to make a name for themselves. Because at the end of the day, that's basically what you want. It's just to have a someone remember you, right? The market right now is pretty decent. You can sell whatever you're trying to sell. Some of the stuff I did notice that I wanted to point out was you have players that on other servers they will hard farm high end items, and that's basically the only thing that you would notice that really isn't being sold too much. Uh, right now, I own a good few of these booths right here. I don't try to maintain all of them, but I do try to maintain a healthy amount. So that way, you don't have people that will come here and just say, "Oh, well, I don't like you. I'm going to eject you from it. You can't utilize these." I don't do that. I'm a brand new player. I started about 2 days before this server opened, so I was on another server for a couple days, and then once this one opened, I just came here because I didn't have any ties. Pretty much learned how to play the game through this server and through all the veterans that I mentioned before. A lot of them are pretty friendly, pretty helpful, and I've done pretty well for myself since coming here. And I think that's always going to be a blessing in disguise when you don't have too many people that are just out for themselves and only want to benefit things for themselves. So today I logged on and I finally got my rewards from the Sky Tower, which is, let's see, the primitive runes. I needed 20 of those so that way I can go to the next level of divinity, which is something I have not done before. I should probably wait until someone actually is online where I can ask them, hey, what do I do? Is there a specific thing that I have to go and fight? Or so instead of doing that, I'm just going to YOLO it. And if I fail, then I fail. Then I got to wait like a whole another 2 weeks. So this will be something that's brand new to me. One of the things that I noticed about this game is they have some awesome bosses that I wish I could have as pets. There's like the Kraken that you have to fight in one of the Devil Den maps. I want that. That thing is just very well made. I'm not gonna lie, it's very rare that I would even watch one of the cutscenes. Cause me, I'm the type that is like, I just want to play the game. I understand there's some people that love the lore, but it's like I just want to play. I just want to kill things. That's just me, 100%. And Oh crap, well, why am I surrounded? But this is what I'm talking about. They have some amazing character designs. This one would probably be my favorite. I love Naga types. Alright, let's see. Thunder Challenge. Hopefully I don't have to... you know what? I really don't trust this game. So, let me go ahead and do this. And the last Thunder Challenge I had to do, I ended up getting struck by lightning several times, and I needed a crap ton of HP bags, which I don't have any right now. Okay, so am I supposed to kill these things? See, I knew that if I tried to yellow this, it was gonna screw me up, and I don't have any pets on. Let me go ahead and add. I probably won't need a tank. Oh god. Okay. Yep, I already had one that died. And since she's here, I'm trying to get my pets situated. Give me one moment. There we go. I got 2 healers on, so I should be fine. So let me go ahead and deal with these. Oh jeez. Okay, looks like I still have my tank on. Oh god, I should really start dodging those, because that's going to be a problem if I can't. One of the biggest issues we have being a warrior. Alright, so that's one. Once we start our chain chop, you kind of get locked into animation. So I've been keeping time of when it's going to spawn. So I can get about 3 chain chops off before I have to dodge. Alright, and then it should be spawning under me. So, yep, there it is. It would be safer just to utilize my whirlwind. So that way I can just move out of the way and still cause damage. So I think that's going to be the plan. And it does a heck of a lot of damage. Alright. And then one more. And then it should spawn under me. Yep. There we go. Now I won't have to worry about dying. Alright, so we took care of that. Let's see what's next. Oh, you passed the test? Is that it? Okay, that's it. I only lost 2 pets to do that. Pal. Alright, it says I'm not strong enough to challenge the defender. Like I said, I'm in new territory right now. This is literally the first time I've ever done this. So, since he's the one that's not really covered up, I guess I can challenge him. So, as when you reach 20,000 divine fire, you can carry... Okay, so this is how I move up from now on. So, once my D-fire, which is my divine fire, hits 20,000 and I get 50 of those primitive runes, I can come challenge him and go up in the next tier when it comes to my divine fire. So my deity land, I'll be able to promote to the next one by doing that. Alright, so since I've already completed the first one, I can break through, which would increase my divine fire just a little bit. I went from rank 7 to rank 5, which I was already at rank 5, but it looks like everyone's starting to break through. That's kind of one of the best things I like about this server is you have a lot of people that's generally around one another when it comes to getting stuff done. So you, like I said, there is a healthy amount of competition. It's just when you overstack too many of the strongest people in one legion, then it starts to get a little bit iffy, because then you have other legions that can't grow as fast because you have everyone trying to manipulate the resources. But that hasn't been too much of an issue on this server. And the best part about, I want to say, the competition is it's like tug of war. One week you might have this legion that's strong. The next week you might have another that's the top. You might have a player that's strong for 1 week, and then it's another because they're just focusing on different things and different aspects. So all around, it's been very refreshing to me being a new player, because in other games it's always these are the top players. They're always going to be the top players, and they're going to rule everything. But here it's been like, yo, it's back and forth, and I like that. My impressions of the game, it's a very simple game. From what I understand, things used to be a lot more complicated, but they kind of simplified it. I remember playing this when I was 14. I don't remember a single thing about this game since I was 14. I remember when I played this, my highest pet was like a 6-star. I didn't know how to get it to 10, 15, 20 stars. I thought, hey, I got a strong pet. Let me just use this and go kill mobs. But there's so much more to the game than just that. So, with that said, generally, what I typically like to do as soon as I get on is just run my dailies. I always check my map to see whether or not I have any upgrades. Right now I have 5 buildings that I'm able to upgrade and 3 that can be upgraded. So with that said, having your own castle, it gives you 1 battle power, which is your BP at the bottom, per level that you have. So I have a level 5 castle, which gives you 5 BP, which is battle power. Now, currently on the server, I have the highest level castle, but like I said, a week from now, someone else can have the highest level castle if I'm not properly maintaining this. So far, I've been maintaining my castle quite a bit, and I really haven't seen anyone like catching up when it comes to the castle. But 5 BP is really not that much. You can get a gem from the market that gives you the same amount of BP. So if I go to foraging, yeah, 5 BP gem. So put simply, the millions that I've spent on my castle, I could have just got a 5 BP gem and it was worth currently the same as my castle. So there's different ways you can go about increasing your battle power. Best thing to do is just focus on composing. If you're in a legion, try to get your legion to max BP share. Since I'm the legion leader of Divinity, I have the most BP share, so mine's maxed out at 64. Currently it's at 62, which I can increase it a little bit more if I just work on getting higher rank pets. So depending on what rank your pet is and the rank that they have inside the BP tower, if you have 5 out of 10 of the top 10, then you can get the max amount for the BP share. So for example, if I go to special and just scroll down just a little bit more, we have 5 of these guys already at max BP share. This one I can boost up to the 8 BP share rank, but it's kind of like I really don't want to waste resources on it. I'd rather just send a guild mate or a legion mate to go and take care of that. But what I need to do is, one, gotta see, first I gotta do my dailies, and the first thing I need to do is Black Arena. Black Arena, Every character should be doing this. And any Legion, once you hit level 100, doesn't matter what your battle power is currently or where it's at. Once you hit level 100, have Legion mates take you, because this gives you a large amount of experience. It also gives you a large amount of divine experience, which you need to level up your divinity. And getting the 65 divine level is probably the thing that everyone should be trying to do as quickly as possible. So this is one of the things that will help you with that. Another would be going into Doomspace. A lot of people don't realize, hey, Doomspace gives you a ton of divine XP. And one of the underrated things that a lot of people don't know is when you do your treasure map quests every single day, that gives you a ton of divine XP also. So in here, it's pretty simple. You just come in here, you defeat 5 bosses, and once you defeat all 5, well, technically it's scaling. So the first round you'll fight 1, the second round you'll fight 2, third round 3, fourth round 4, fifth round 5. So once you defeat all of those, then you complete all 5 stages of the Black Arena. You only have to beat 1 stage for your daily quests. There's usually going to be a button on the side here that says level up. Once you hit level 140, you basically should know what the dailies are and what you should be doing, because if you got to 140, you obviously know how to play the game at that point, or you're just extremely lucky. Eventually everyone's going to hit max level anyway, so I guess that statement's a little bit negative. Alright, so I got my spin back. I'll just go ahead and tear these up. One of the questions that some of my guildies would ask me, or Legion mates would ask me, is simply, hey, how strong do I have to be to come into Black Arena? I've been soloing Black Arena since 700 BP, which is 700 battle power. Doesn't even take that long to do, or to even reach that point. Hold on, I'm gonna have to switch my pets out because I got no damage whatsoever. Okay. Let's go with this one. I know I'm getting my butt whooped right now, but it's not gonna last too long. Alright, so let's go ahead and get started. Start killing these things. Alright, so all of those are squared away. I did lose my Tifa, but it's not too big of a deal. I still have plenty of damage. As long as my Ruby doesn't die, we're good. But to further elaborate on what I was saying about the beating this and the battle power ranking and stuff like that, let me just make sure. Okay, so I've already did this last night. Doesn't matter because it still works towards your achievements. One of the things that a lot of players don't know or they forget about is the fact that your achievement points give you extra battle power. Now, the more achievement points you have, go to preview. Every time you level up your achievements, you get 10 free battle power, and that's permanent. So doing as many achievements as possible, as early as possible, increases your power drastically. If you're a free-to-play player, there's different methods you can use to increase your battle power without having to put into the game. There's a lot of people say, oh, the game's pay to win. I guess, but it depends on how you look at it too, because I have some free-to-play players in my Legion and they haven't put more than $1 into the game, and they have close to 1000 BP when majority of the other players don't. They're leveling up quite fast when a number of other players aren't. You have some that can drop to $300 in a game, but they might spend it on things that really don't help them grow, or they'll just go for quick BP but not understand how to actually utilize their power. in a meaningful way. So with that said, you have to basically balance out: one, leveling up your skills; two, leveling up your character; and three, composing. If you're going to spend any money in the game, one of the things that I would recommend buying would be, this will hurry up and show, it is the Solar Right pack. I'm not sure if you guys can actually see that, but here we go. It's the monthly cards. So the monthly cards, the Solar Right pack, if you buy this one counts too. This gives you a ton of benefits, and it's probably one of the most underrated items inside the game, because a lot of people, they'll buy it and don't really know how to utilize it properly. One of the biggest things that you're going to get is the in-store buyback gold, plus 30%, and the in-store price minus 30%. Those two are extremely underrated. Extremely underrated. Because that allows you to buy items and sell items. Oh, you're going to buy items for cheaper, and you're also going to sell items for more. So one of the things that I would say, hey, yeah, if I was going to buy, let's say, a super vial, right now I'm in Dragon content, but if I was going to buy a super vial, or say I was going to sell a super vial to the shop, if you don't have that Solar Right pack, then you'll probably sell the super vial for maybe 16 million. If you have just the basic one, it'll go up to 18 million. But mine is maxed out, so my Solar Right is actually maxed out right now. That's why you see this entire bar, which means my reduction is 45% and my buyback or selling is 45% increase. So if you have 0, it'll be 16 mil. If you have 30, which is what most people would get, it'll be like 18 mil. But since mine is maxed out, it's 21 mil. Now, 21 mil might not sound like a lot of money in this game, especially when you have people making billions and billions of gold. But here's one of the things that I tell people. The reason why it's so underrated is because look at it how you would invest in real life. You don't want to invest your rent money into something that is not 100% or guaranteed. So, for example, if you have $10 and your rent is $8, you're not going to invest more than $2 to do any type of investment, because that puts you at risk. That risks you losing your apartment, that risks you losing everything. So using that same analogy, if you want to grow properly in the game, you're not going to use money that you need for things that could potentially lose you it. So one of the things that I see a lot of people do is go into the casino, they'll play poker, and they'll invest pretty much all of their money into poker to try to win big against other players, and they'll end up losing all of it. Just the other day, I watched a player lose 4 billion gold. 4 billion gold like it was nothing. I ain't gonna lie, I took like 2 billion of it because he didn't know how to play poker properly, but still, you shouldn't be doing stuff like that. That was the money that he needed to grow. If he would have took that same 4 billion that he invested or just sat on it, he could be at least a Duke in here. He could be at least in the rankings where it's meaningful. Because 4 billion gold would put you close to where I am. That would have shot him at least rank 5. But you turned around and utilized all that, and that, or you lost all that, which would have gave you an extreme amount of BP, which is battle power, for nothing. Alright, so since today is Monday, I have to go in here and get my inheritance gift. Hopefully it increases my my points for the week, and then I can go around and start doing quests. But back on topic, what I tell people to do is only take your extra and use that for an investment. Don't use what you need as an investment when you're risking not growing because you have a chance of losing all of it. So as I was stating before, if you had a Super Vio and it sells for 16 million, you know, hey, 16 million, that's your base amount. That's how much you cannot spend. When you have the solar right, it goes to 18 million. That's a $2 million, 2 million gold difference. So that 2 million you can invest freely because that's extra that you have. The base amount is 16. So if the extra is 2 million, you can use that freely because you're not losing anything. That's just the extra you got from having the solar right. Now, if you take that into perspective, that same 2 million, put it towards the casino, you can use that same 2 million to increase your gold. I started with 5 million in the casino, and by the time a week went by, just that same 5 million, because I couldn't pull it out initially due to this being a new server and they had some restrictions on it. But by the time the restrictions were dropped, I had 2 billion gold in my casino to pull out, and I only started with 5 million, and that was just the extra I had from selling one item. So if you do stuff like that, one, you're not losing. It's like, even if you lose that 2 million gold, it's not something that you're really gonna say, oh wow, I lost 2 million gold, it's the end of the world, because it's not, because you still made 16 million off the item anyway, which is just the base amount. Now, right now, I'm just running around talking, ranting. It's kind of funny to me because I'm like, hey, oh crap. I'm not sure why it slingshot me back, but whatever. It's not too big of a deal. I'm just running around talking, ranting. One of the biggest things I do in video games is actually trading. One of the things I love more than anything in video games is crafting. So most of the time you'll see me, if I'm hanging out, I'm usually, oh wow, I did not notice I was sitting on the gold. No. Okay. Yeah, this isn't going to go well, but I have multiple chances of actually coming in here and getting this stuff squared away, so it's not too big of a deal if I fail it the first time. So I want to get as many chests as possible before I wake the big snake up. It's gonna wake up, isn't it? Nope, I kind of got lucky there. Okay, yep, it's up. Let me get out of here. Let me kill that snake first. Alright, so that wasn't too bad. I can go back in there later and just finish getting the rest of the chest, but that wasn't too bad. So what I plan on doing is, I'll show you guys how I go about making money. There's tons of different people around that have guides on, hey, this is the best way of making money. I'm just going to show you guys how I do it, because at the end of the day, there's a lot of stuff that people will tell you, but they won't tell you all the information. They'll tell you simply, hey, yeah, if you just go in here, you do this, you're going to make gold. Okay, but they also don't take into the fact that you have some players that aren't as strong as them, aren't playing the same classes as them, don't have the same battle power as them, don't have the same legion strength as them, or divine fire. So everything that I plan on teaching you guys is anything that people can do on their own. Starting the game out, hey, this is the best way to make gold. Starting the game out, hey, this is the best way to level yourself up. If you're going to invest money into the game, these are the items you should be looking to get. Because a lot of people, what they do is, as soon as they come in the game, they buy EP. They'll spend like 20 bucks, say, hey, I'm only going to put 20 bucks in the game. They'll buy EP. 10 minutes later, all their EP's gone because they bought items that they thought were going to be beneficial, which actually it might be initially, but at the end of the day, it's like, now you have to grow it. So you have some people that will buy a demon for a base price. Let's say 40-star Tifa. They bought a 40-star Tifa for 1200 EP. Okay, you got a 12-star or 40-star Tifa. Now what? Yeah, your BP went up quite a bit. Let's say 30 points, which is a good amount. But at the end of the day, what else did you get from that? You got 30 points, and now you have something that you have to grow on your own. And since it's that higher up, that means you have a higher price to pay because it's already 40 stars. That means you got to start pumping in 4 to 6 star universals. And if you take that into account, it's like basically you just went from, hey, yeah, I'm eating at McDonald's every single day, to now I have to eat at Red Lobster every single day to grow even stronger. It's like McDonald's is manageable. It'll keep you full. It'll keep you growing at a decent pace. But it's when you invest too heavily into things that you think might be beneficial to you, and it might not be. And I think that's where a lot of players fail, which is why I kind of like the way my Legion is going. We have several free-to-play players. I actually recruit free-to-play players more than pay-to-win players. Or pay to progress. It's not pay to win, it's pay to progress. Because everyone's eventually going to reach the same limits or the same things as long as they're steadily growing themselves. So, when they say, oh, this is pay to win, there's an argument for both sides. Let me just say it like that. There is an argument for both sides. Hold on, I just need to double check to make sure this thing is coming. Where are you? Okay, there you are. Hello. Okay, he's chasing me. But yeah, there is an argument for both sides because eventually everyone will hit the same points, even if you don't put any money into the game. Because EP, which is the paid currency in the game, anyone can get it. You can get it just by being good at boss farming. So you can go out there and kill bosses around the map and get different color stones, like red stones. Not these the redstone bags that says sealed next to it. You get these from just logging into the game every single day and being around for a half hour. Yellow stones, which you use to improve your gear. So red stones, they increase your quality, the quality of your gear. So for example, right now mine says Elite Divine. That's the quality. The quality level is plus 12. So you need yellow stones to get it from 0 to plus 12. And then you need violet stones, which are the purple ones over here. You need that to increase your armor level. So for example, if you have a level, let's say level 15 piece of armor, and you use a redstone to increase its quality, then the chances are you can get a special attribute, which is what a lot of people end up doing. I'll show you guys that inside another video. But once you guys get used to crafting your own armor and stuff like that, you can start building your foundation for in-game, especially early on, because your foundation building actually starts when you're level, I want to say 40. Once you get to the point where you select your element, that's when you start building your foundation, because at that point it's going to be a very cut and dry simple system. I have a 12-star or a plus 12 fire element weapon, so I want to start building gear that has fire element, because the most elements you have, or the element that's the highest that you can obtain, should be the element you're focusing on. So the first step in that is, once you hit your level 40 quest, you're going to get to the point where it's going to ask you, hey, here's elemental crafting, You get to choose your first element. Once you choose your first element, then everything will be cut, dry, and simple. You get a extremely powerful weapon, which you can use redstones to increase the quality. So if it's already at plus 12 fire element, you have a chance of increasing the quality all the way to super, and it might go from plus 12 all the way to plus 22. You never know. There's a lot of people that they'll start a character over just to try to get that. I really got to put this pet away. It's picking up a bunch of garbage right now. Hold on 1 second. Wardrobe. Pets. Nah, I'll just call it back. Right now what I'm doing is I'm just running through Rotten. It's one of the dungeons that you have to do in order to get talismans. Talismans are these things right here. You can get a mithril crown, a potency rune, or a berserker horn. That increases your battle power just by wearing them, and you can get them to drop inside this particular dungeon very, very easily. All you have to do is just kill the boss. And this is another one of those things where people will tell you, oh yeah, you can just do this to make money. You can just do this to increase your battle power. But at the same time, every single person is different. And every single class is different. They have different ways of doing things. So if you're not generalizing the information, or if you are generalizing the information to the point where you're not taking particular aspects into account, I don't think that would be useful for the player base as a whole, or those that are listening to you say, hey, yeah, just do this, do that. And I'm not that type. I'll tell you exactly how it is, what you have to do in order to be efficient. One, you can solo this place as a warrior at, I want to say 750 BP. And I tell people all the time, if you're playing a warrior, once you unlock divine level 65 and you get your spin, your whirlwind, you're good. That's everything you need, because that's going to be your primary damage ability besides your chain chop. Your chain chop does awesome damage. It's very good for bossing because the boss gets locked up and CC'd, so that way it's not doing any damage to you. They're very good when it comes to fighting in a group, because you as the warrior can be the one that's holding the boss still while everyone else is doing damage, and then that's when your stamina comes into play, because if you don't have high stamina, you can only chain chop for so long. Right now, from full to empty, I can chain chop a boss for about a minute and 45 seconds straight. That's a minute and 45 seconds that the boss can't move, can't attack, can't do anything in order for my team to do damage and kill it. Alright. Alright, so that boss is dead. Now, like I was saying, 700 BP, 750 BP is basically what you need in order to complete this. You want to have your spin, because it just makes your life a whole lot easier. You can chain chop your way through it. Originally, that's what I did, but I was at 750 BP. I just used chain chop on everything until everything died. But then again, you'll run out of stamina if you run into the bosses that have higher HP pools, which will make everything a lot harder for you to actually get through. So there's a lot of different things in this game that affects how strong you are, and the average player won't know all these things. So as I stream, I'm going to start walking you guys through guides on how I do things. One of the best classes in the game, if you want to be self-sufficient, is going to be the Paladin. Paladin is very good at farming. As I told you, a warrior, for example, it took me roughly 750 BP to run Rotten. I can take a 600 BP paladin and run through that with no problem, as long as I have my starfall. But you get your starfall pretty early on once you unlock your divinity. So at 600 BP with a paladin, you can just run, make yourself money. Even selling off the berserker horn that I just got, the mithril crowns, or the potency rune, just selling these off are about $1 million a pop. Now, $1 million a pop, like I said, really not that much money. But if you're getting five of them at a time, that's good. That's great. Now, what you can also do is build these. Now, when I say build them, you just go to character, you go to talisman, you put in 1 potency rune, and you put in a sacrifice. So since I have 2 of them, you go ahead and forge these together. That put it at a +1 potency rune. Now, yes, you can lock it, but if you lock it, you can't trade it. Now, if you're, like I said, if you're a new player and you have all the requirements, different classes, like I said, Necros are very easy to run dungeons. They're very easy to go and make money. So just selling potency runes, you can sell these for EP. And like I said, EP is the primary paid currency. You have EP here, and then you have PP, which PP you use for other things like bound equipment. You can, as long as you have the mega treasure or the epic treasure, you can buy a certain amount of these items every single week with just utilizing your PP. Now the EP, you buy literally everything else with it. Now, say the potency rune, you get it to +3, you can sell it for 100 EP. That's just one. With all the people that's making mannequins, yes, they can go and run their own, but you have some that are extremely lazy, and they're like, oh, well, it's cheaper, or it's easier for me just to go and buy a +3, which, as you saw, getting a +1 didn't take that much. Getting +2 is a little bit longer. Getting into +3, slightly longer after that, but it's not hard. It's not complicated. You can run multiple dungeons and get it, and just build them up naturally. So once you start hitting +4, +5, the price starts increasing by quite a bit. So a +3 you can sell for 100 EP each. 100 EP each. So if you have a potency rune, mithril crown, and a berserker horn, and they're all +3, that's 300 EP. 300 EP you can use for a number of things. Let's say, okay, 300 EP will basically allow you to buy 2 of the level 6 souls, and that's +12 BP by itself. +12 battle power by itself, along with 10% attributes. So something that you can do very early on, very easily, to start making yourself some money. You can use that as your foundation to go ahead and buy souls. Go ahead and increase your battle power in other ways. Because yes, you're going to be utilizing these. You put 1 on, that's +1. You put 3 on, that's +3. Or you can sell them at +3, which should have you at what, +9? Because you have +3, +3, +3, that's at +9, which will give you 9 battle power. Or you can sell all 3 of them for 12 battle power. It's the little things that you have to take into account for you to actually be successful and start making your own money, to start building your own foundation. Now, level 6 souls, that's a good start. I mean, if I saw someone walking around with level 6 souls, I'll just nod my head and I'm like, hey, this guy knows what he's doing. He's getting himself together. If I start seeing you walk around with level 2, level 1, there's a problem there. Because there's no reason you should have these at all. Like, period. If I saw someone in my guild walking around with that, or my legion walking around with that, I would stop them, tell them to hand them over, and I'll give them level 6, because level 6 are easy to come by. But otherwise, That's what you should be focusing on, is just building your foundation. If you're the type of person that wants to go ahead and say, hey, yeah, I want to be extremely strong very quickly, I'm just going to spend a bunch of money on a game and do it like that, yeah, that's going to be all great for you for a while. And then what's going to happen? Everyone's going to catch up, and hopefully you use that time that you were strong to actually build a solid foundation that, for example, if you were that strong, start a legion. Because in this game, people rally around whoever's the strongest. And if you're the strongest, build a legion, have people helping you, and start helping them out while you're strong, so that way they respect you a lot more. But at the end of the day, you also have to remember, there's people that have been playing this game for so long that regardless of what you do, they're going to catch up. And when they catch up, if you don't have that same knowledge that they possess, then you're going to have quite a hard time trying to get yourself situated. Because once they catch up to you, then you're going to run into the problem where you basically have to either spend more money to stay ahead, or you're basically going to have to concede your position. And I hate to say it, but that's basically what it is. Alright, but otherwise, what I'm going to do is let's check on something and see if I can get a decent piece of gear. Because what I am lacking is a fire helmet for a warrior. So like I said, you can come in here, you can buy a helmet from one of the NPCs, and that's generally what you want to do with your redstones. Once you get your redstones up and running, like I said, you get them free every single day. I would just use 5 of them just by logging in. So you click on the redstone, you add the piece of gear that you want to increase the quality of, and you go ahead and add your redstone to it. It'll tell you your success rate. Now, if you don't, this is another reason why I say the most valuable thing you can buy if you're going to invest any type of money is the solar pack. The solar pack increases your success rate when it comes to forging. Now, right now, I have the highest level of forging that I can obtain in the game. Hold on a second. Let me go ahead and block this person. Alright, so I have the highest success rate right now that you can obtain inside the game, because I have a maxed out solar pack. But just having, let's say, the 30-day, you bought it for 30 days, you got the first 30-day bonus, it goes up 6%. Now, 6% doesn't sound like a lot, but it's very underrated to a lot of people, because you have a 6% increased chance of not having to waste a redstone trying to tier this up. 43%, that's pretty good. But also 36% is really good compared to 30. Because everyone knows in probability, a 1 to 3 ratio really isn't 1 to 3. 30% chance, you might not claim that for 7 or 8 different tries. Heck, you can get it on your first try, you never know. But I'd rather have a 43% chance rather than a 36 or a 30. Alright, so as you see, use it the first time, automatically increase this quality. But as you can see, there's no additional properties to it. There's no different elements, nothing. So I'm going to go ahead and scrap that. Since I'm using sealed gems, I can't sell it. So you just go ahead and trash it. I'm not spending that much because gold is pretty easy to come by. Alright, failed to forge that. But I don't really care if I fail to forge, because I'm getting points that I can use to auto-complete my Legion quest, which I do every single day. Because I don't actually spend the time going out there and doing it. I just rather use the points that I obtain doing this. Alright, so that's 3 hits and nothing. And there we go. And it looks like we actually popped an element for this one. So we got +4 wind. I don't need wind, which kind of sucks. But, hey, +4 wind, not too bad. Now, since I have a +4 wind, what I can try to do is continue to increase the quality of it and every single time I pop quality, I have a chance of increasing that element or getting another element. Now, what you want is for it not to split off, because you don't want to have a +4 wind, +3 fire, +2 water. You don't want that at all. It sucks when you get that, because only one element actually matters. I have some people that'll sit there and ask me, hey, yeah, what element's the best for my class? It does not matter. It doesn't matter what element you have for your class. The only thing that matters is which one can you get the highest. Because the higher your element, the more damage you have. Right now I'm at +61 fire, and I lack a fire helmet. It's like, yeah, the helmet has +2 fire on it, but when I say I lack it, this has +10 fire, +10 fire, +10 fire, +10 fire, +10 fire, and I got +2 on my helmet. So you can see where I'm having an issue with that. So I need to get another helmet that has at least +10 or above fire, which will increase this to another 8. So I'll be at 69. And then, of course, you can get fire element in your goddess, which is what I have. +5 fire here. Your goddess can give you a total of 20 elements. So once you have your goddess maxed out, you want to have +20 element just from all 4 of these alone. Because just getting +20 increases your damage by an absurd amount. That's why when I say build your foundation, that's what you want to build your foundation on. And your foundation is, once you hit level 40, once you start, you get yourself an element and you start making yourself gear by using the free stones that they give you every single day. And just to show you where it is, if you go to Reward Center, your online rewards, as long as you're online for 30 minutes per day, you can use 10 free redstones. They're sealed, which means you can't trade the items unless you unseal it. And I'll show you how to do that in a moment. But you get 10 free redstones every single day. A lot of people are like, no, use the redstones inside the redstone exchange to get yourself experience points to level yourself up. Yeah, you can do that. Yeah, it's a possibility to do that and help you level faster. But at the same time, you being high level with no gear, how does that help you? It's like, yeah, you'll be in the same range as everyone else, but you don't have a solid foundation. And that solid foundation is, hey, as you are leveling up, you weren't wasting your stones on something you're going to get anyway. So taking a slower approach is not a bad thing, because you can get XP doing a number of different things. Like I said, doing Black Arena, doing your treasure maps, going to Chaos Acre or Chaos Acre, as some people like to call it. Just killing mobs inside certain dungeons. Getting EXP stones from Devil Den, taking EXP balls, just regular EXP balls, and tossing it on yourself. Having friends online that play the game, or just people in general that's going to give you free contribution, which equals out to EXP balls anyway. So wasting your redstones on these, that's the choice that you have to make for yourself. It's either you're going to waste it on yourself just to increase your level, which you can use those same redstones to make yourself gear that tries to, well, that's going to increase your power anyway, because just having elements alone is going to increase your power. But once you hit level 40 and you start getting your redstones and you start getting all the items and things that you need, start making yourself gear. Every so often when you come into town and you sell something and you have redstones sitting inside your bag, if they're bound redstones or sealed redstones, just go make some gear. See if you can get anything that's pretty decent. Because if you can, and you start building up your elemental gear very early on, when people, let's say you're level 120 because you use all your redstones to make gear compared to someone that's 130, and all they have is just your basic gear plus 12 that they get from whatever. Or if they're a brand new player, they don't understand how to get the plus 12 gear or spend any money on the plus 12 gear, then them being at 130 and you being at 120, you're still going to wreck them because you have way more damage through your elements. And having elements increases your battle power anyway. So regardless of that fact, you're going to do very, very good. So I tell people, take it slow and steady. You don't have to rush. You don't have to worry about trying to be as strong as possible too fast, because when you do that, you run into the problems where, hey, yeah, I got very, very strong, and then you hit a dead end. Yes, you can buy strong demons and not do anything with them and just utilize that, but if you're not doing anything with them, guess what? People are going to catch up. People are going to start smashing you because they already took the time to relax themselves and took a slow and steady pace and built a strong foundation. So now that they can actually increase themselves to the point where they can match you, now all of a sudden it's like the same person that you were going around killing in PvP, now they're passing you and they're destroying you and you don't know what happened. Now there's the other side of that same coin where you buy a bunch of things, you rush your battle power, and then you use that to keep increasing your battle power. There's people like that, but generally those are the ones that have been playing the game for a while. They understand, hey, yeah, I can do this to get a little bit ahead and use that to start snowballing. So once I get that snowball going, then all you have left is to maintain it. Because I've seen that happen on the server already. You had someone that jumped super far ahead and then they hit a dead end. And now they're not even the strongest person on the server anymore. They have to try to play catch up to those who are. So that just goes back to what I was saying before, where the server has been a constant tug of war. You might have one person that's strong one week, then the next week is someone completely different, which is kind of funny to watch because, like I said, you have a lot of players on this game that rally around the strongest people because they think they get the most benefits out of it. And it's funny watching them go from one legion to another legion to another legion every single week because their legion leader or their legion deputies or whatever aren't the strongest in the game anymore or the strongest on the server. And then when that tug of war gets pulled back the other way and then they become the strongest again, now you're like, oh, well, I left these guys, I'm going to go back to them. And then now they don't want you in their legion. And then you're basically floating between legions because you just left a legion to go back to your old one. The old legion doesn't want you. The new legion that you went to said, oh, well, you left us to go back to them. You're not loyal to us either, so we don't want you here. Now you have the problem where, oh, well, I either have to make my own legion or find a smaller legion to try to get into. And I've watched that happen so many times. I think it's the funniest thing ever. But that's how people are. It's like those that stick by you through thick and thin, even if you're losing events, even if you're getting killed out, they understand it's like, hey, I have fun playing with these people. I'd rather have fun playing and lose versus anything else. So, I think it was funny. But otherwise, I'm going to stop talking you guys' ear off. Like I said, I'm going to have a stream put together with just crafting. I'm going to have a stream that will show you how to run Karya. I only play a warrior. I do have a paladin mannequin, but that's just to help me with Karya, because it's only level 132. I really don't do too much on it, but it's just to help me in Karya for unlocking each of the different the statues that you have to unlock. So if I can actually get a mannequin up and running, right now I'm running through a certain situation where I can't actually build any more mannequins. I'm not sure why, but once that issue gets resolved, then I'll show you guys how to get from 1 to level let's say 105, 1 to 100 easily within 1 hour. And you can do that as a free-to-play player. It's something that's quick, simple. You don't have any issues getting it done. And from that point on, you have a strong foundation. Because you have some people, they don't know how to level up, they don't know how to speed through the quests, and it's very cut, dry, and simple. If you know someone that's playing the game, or heck, technically you now know me if you're watching this video. So if you ever come to the Lyra server and you're looking for a mentor gives you a free amount of battle power. I think right now if I mentor someone, they get an additional 34 or 35. And 35 battle power at the beginning of the game is a massive amount. You can basically just run through basically all your quests with no issues. And I'll go ahead and just poke me and say, hey, saw your video, can you mentor me so that way I can have a strong foundation. You tell me that, I got you. And I'll probably help you work on some gear so that way you can start building up your element stuff. Because like I said, one of the biggest things I love about games is crafting. So most of the time you'll see me around, I'm either crafting or getting ready to craft, or doing something so I can get materials to craft. But that's going to be it for me. Thank you all for watching. If you have any questions, feel free to contact me in game. My name is Rolier, or Zetharian. I go by Zath, but Zetharian is my primary. It's just I just happen to have Rolier as my strongest character, so I've been playing that one a lot more. But Zetharian is my actual character name. So thank you all for watching. Hopefully this gave you a little bit of information that is useful to you. If you like that, feel free to thumbs up, subscribe.